So we're on our way to Kaiser right now. We're gonna go meet Gretchen for the first time. We'll ask her some questions, see what she remembers about the accident, get to know her a little bit more. We have no idea how this video is gonna go. It's our first one, but we'll keep you guys posted. Alright, so now we're in the hospital. Gonna go meet her. Hopefully they'll let us film inside. We don't know, we haven't asked. But we'll find out.
So I went to Clovis High, and I was involved in a lot of different things. My most favorite memory was probably being part of the tennis team for all 4 years. I love doing like a lot of community service and stuff, so I was part of leadership there, and I did like different things with like Interact Club and the Rotary Club and those kind of things where I went to outreach in community, and the hospital. I volunteered at the hospital as well. Basically, I kind of knew I wanted to be a doctor probably since forever. Like, I don't even remember when I thought of anything else. I still can't imagine myself doing anything else. Both my parents were nurses in India, and then my dad came here and continued his education, became a nurse practitioner. And you know, they worked really hard and wanted the best for me. So, and they wanted me to go further than them. So me and my sister both decided to pursue a career in medicine. My parents went to school in India to a place called KMCIC Manipal, and that's where I actually went right after high school. I went straight to India, and I did a few years there, pre-med. It was like a bridge program, so I did a couple years, 2 years of pre-med. And then I started med, but then I got the opportunity to transfer to Antigua for California accreditation. Yeah, so I moved over there, and it's kind of scary at first, you know, moving and stuff, but international-wise has been amazing. Like, I don't even know, like, the experiences I've gone through. I probably wouldn't have gotten if I stayed at home or anything like that. I definitely have a lot of different stories that I could probably tell a bunch of people that they'll never have, which is the best part, I think. Yeah. I mean, after this accident happened, though, I still, you know, I still want to be a doctor, and I still want to continue my medical career, and, you know, it's just a little bit delayed, but I still plan on, you know, finishing school and getting there, so, yeah. Basically, I came back from Antigua after 2 years of finishing my basic sciences. I came back home, and I was actually studying for the U.S. Emily Step 1. My parents and my sister had just came back from school, and we had decided to go on vacation for Christmas, and that's what we normally do every year. So on December 26th, we had actually boarded the plane from Fresno to Dallas, and we were heading from there to New Orleans for Christmas vacation. And we had a 3-hour layover in Dallas, and I had wanted to meet some of my friends in Dallas from school. So I left my parents and my sister at the airport. This was about maybe 7:30 or so, I would say. And I left and I went to go get something to eat, and as I had just gotten a text message, you know, my gate number from my mom, and we had just me and my friend had just started coming back. He was going to drop me back at the airport, and on the way back, I got hit by a drunk driver, and I never made it back to the airport. I mean, I remember basically the entire accident. I don't know if you want me to get into that, but I saw the lights come at my side and my friend just yelled, "Oh crap," and then like that's all I remember about that. And I remember the car was rolling at least 3 or 4 times, and then when I regained consciousness, I knew that the car was flipped over, and I couldn't feel anything from my neck down. I had been wearing a sweatshirt and like a scarf, and my face was just in the scarf, so I couldn't like breathe properly or talk. So my friend in the driver's seat was asking if I was okay, and he could barely hear me because it sounded like I was mumbling. But I remember telling him like, I'm paralyzed, I don't feel anything, I can't feel my arms. And he was screaming because he had broken his arm. But the first guy that actually came up to the car, he asked us whether we were okay and if he should call 911, which was ridiculous because the car was flipped over. And even if we were okay, you still call 911. I remember when the ambulance came and they were asking me questions whether I was conscious or not. I remember all of that, and I couldn't like respond to them, so I had to respond through my friend. So I was telling him, tell him to call my parents. I gave a bystander my number, so my parents' number, so they could call and tell him that I wasn't going to make it to the airport. I remember when the ambulance asked me if I could feel anything, and at that point I still couldn't feel anything. My friend was yelling at them to help me first, and I could hear them talking outside that my leg was caught in the dashboard and they couldn't move me, so they had to wait for the fire truck to come in and basically cut me out of the car. So I was just like freaking out at that point because I couldn't feel anything, and I didn't know if I'd broken anything. I didn't know if I was bleeding. And like being in medical school, it's kind of, you kind of think the worst because obviously you can't feel anything, and you know, at that point you know like something's wrong, but it's not. I don't know, but I could feel like I felt like my whole body was just numb, like everything I couldn't feel. Then I remember when they tried to cut me out of the car, I felt like a pain in my leg, and I just started screaming like, "Don't cut my leg." All of that's pretty vivid, and once they pulled me out, they like stabilized my neck, everything, got me into the ambulance, told me they called my parents, and I was just like not in and out of consciousness, but I was just like I felt so tired that I couldn't like tell them everything. I couldn't. They were asking me so many questions, like address and all that stuff, that I couldn't really tell them that much, and I like mumbled it kind of. But as soon as I got to the hospital, I don't even know how many surgeons or residents, or I don't even know how many people were just surrounding me and asking me questions and turning me over and examining me. And then after that, like I was just freaking out because I didn't know where my parents were. I didn't know what to do, and I don't even know where I was. And we were in Texas, so like they don't know where to go, and I was just more worried about them, you know, than I was. Like I didn't really register what was going on with me. You know, I was freaking out, but at the same time I was more worried about them, and they're gonna kill me because I didn't come back to the airport on time. But after that, they did a midnight surgery. They explained to my parents that they thought I had a C5, C6 spinal cord fracture, and that I had a vertebral artery damage. And they had to immediately take me to surgery, and I remember my dad asking the surgeon if it was like necessary for it to be right now or if he could get a second opinion. But they took me in at 12:30 a.m. on December 27th, and I think the surgery took about maybe 5 or 6 hours, and then after that I just remember waking up in the ICU and my parents were just like freaking out, and my sister, and then all of that. But that's pretty much the whole accident. I had so many, you know, I had breathing, like oxygen line, I had everything, and I had a neck brace. I just remember that I couldn't move at that point in the ICU. I couldn't move anything, and I just woke up, and you know, that's all, you know, it was kind of scary, and at the same time I didn't register anything, so I mean, it was confusing. Pretty much have a full day of occupational therapy and physical therapy. In the beginning I wasn't strong enough or well enough to do too much of the physical therapy, but you know, I've been in here for about maybe 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Coming on to my 5th, but I just like coming like from the first week till now has been like crazy. I can do more things. I can eat cereal. You know, I still need some adaptive equipment to help me hold a fork or hold a spoon, but I can eat cereal. I can brush my teeth on my own. I just started writing a little bit, you know. I mean, is it legible? I don't know. But like, you know, at least the fact that I can make the movement, and I can color inside the box. You know, I can control my movements. Trunk movement wise, I was so shaky. Like, if you guys had come on the first week, we probably could not be sitting. I would not be sitting like this and talking to you. I would have like every single strap on to make sure I didn't fall out of this chair. But like things like that, I don't know. It's just, it's crazy to think about it, and then, you know, other people think it's so amazing, but for me, I don't know if it's registered yet, or I just feel like, oh, I'm just doing, you know, this, or I'm like, you know, I haven't registered. But I think once I go home, I'll find out, like, oh my gosh, I need to do this on my own, and all these things. But yeah, they give you daily stretches and things that you need to work on every day, and you know, getting up in the morning is the hardest. You know, trying to dress yourself, and it's frustrating. You know, it's hard, but I've been pretty positive throughout this whole thing. So I've been okay. I've had some ups and downs. You know, we have psychologists that come in and make sure we're okay, but you know, I haven't felt the need to have him come in so often. Like, I feel pretty positive, and you know, having my family always here and having so much support from my friends and community back home has like helped me tremendously. Like, I don't think I would ever get through this without them, and you know, definitely having my family here every day and like cheering me on, like the little things, you know, has been great. Like, I see some videos from before, and I was writing, and I just wrote, "I love you, Dad," and I sent it to him, and my mom just like started crying, or like, you know, and she's like, "We have to send this to Dad right now," or things like that. I love seeing videos like that. Recently I got onto a standing frame in PT, so I actually stood up, and they helped me stand up, and you know, it was crazy because I hadn't been on my feet for so long, and that was like an emotional thing for me because, you know, like, you never know if I'm gonna walk again or if I'm gonna be able to stand on my own again, so things like that. But I've been getting through it. Yeah. So we have a GoFundMe account that my sister created. Some of the things that we're hoping the money will go towards is more rehab. I really need to continue with the same intensity. Also, we're looking into getting a wheelchair accessible vehicle. It's really hard for me to get into you know, the car and our like Honda Pilot van and stuff like that right now. Other things are just daily necessities that we need around the house. We need ramps, make the shower more accessible. Doorways need to be opened up and things like that. Things that you wouldn't think of before, but that definitely need, you know, to make it more easy for me to move around. Maybe doing like, I'm not going home with a power chair, so we're trying to get a power chair so I can be a little bit more independent. I'm trying to be more independent, and that way I won't have my parents having to push me around in a wheelchair all the time. But any money or any you know, donations, anything like that, but definitely if no donations, your support and love are just enough too. But thank you guys so much.
This will be the shirt. We'll get some printed, you know, if you guys want one, but you heard her, donate, help as much as you can, because every little thing matters, you know, support, love, anything. And I'll put the link below. It'll be all right here, all the information you need, and the whole story will be there. But pretty much don't drink and drive, because no one really wants to go through all of that, and learn from everything you see. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Take care.
I want to take you to
Oh, sure.
Yeah.